the only podcast that can't decide if it wants to be on Sundays or Mondays. I'm your host, the absolutely incomprehensible Bucket Crust, and with me is, yeah, you fucking guessed it, it's Gage again. He's shy.
No, what? I'm just waiting for you to say I can speak.
But do you need me to say, do you need me to command you to speak?
Yeah, usually after your intro, because last time I spoke, before you said, "Oh, say something, Gage," you came to my house and beat me with a belt.
Well, that's beside the point. On today's episode, we don't really have a main topic. I suppose we could talk about that whole Pro Jared debacle, even though that's sort of faded out of the news already. Boy, you think you know a guy, and then he goes and makes the most fucking hilarious screenshots you've ever seen in my life. In your life, and not screenshots, but selfies. Sorry, I'm not hip with the
I'm
lingo. I'm
I'm
not
gonna be
down with the
honest.
gangsters.
I'm gonna be honest. I
Mm.
actually don't know a single thing about the Pro Jared incident.
Alright, well, let me catch you up with as much as I know, and then we might be able to investigate more into this so we're not as ignorant. Ugh, pardon me, I just ate chicken. That's the wrong app. Pro Jared was or is a YouTuber. He's still alive. Who he started off doing sort of the AVGN stuff where he just did obscure old games, but he's sort of found a niche in talking about Dungeons and Dragons and the like, uh, tabletop games and whatnot.
I know who he is. I don't know about the whole
Well, I'm getting to
dum
it.
dum.
I'm getting to it. And he's married to a woman named Heidi. I don't remember. I don't know either of their last names, but I know she had her own channel. I don't know what she posted on it, but he was fucking around with some other dude's wife. Uh,
Like a
I'm not
Chad.
I'm not very well versed on this, but unlike a Chad, he took the most ridiculous fucking selfies I've ever seen in my life. Nobbenbauer?
Or something along those lines.
Huh. That's a strange last name, but whatever. But yeah, so he started fucking around with another girl, and that got out, and I don't know. It's funny how he cheated on a 9 with like a 4, but whatever.
I cheated on my math test, but I accidentally put in the English test. So I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah. So he's getting a lot of hate for it. He's losing subscribers like fucking Billio. And I thought it was kind of topical because this all happened about a week after I unsubscribed from him, just because like I hadn't watched his videos in a long while and I kind of stopped caring, so I unsubscribe and then I find out like a week later, oh, now I have a reason to unsubscribe for him.
Man, if I wasn't already unsubscribed, I would
I I'm
unsubscribe.
gonna resubscribe just to unsubscribe again. That'll
Um,
teach him. I click
uh,
two buttons.
nah, I was just watching some good old content, and they were playing Spyro 2, Enter the Dragonfly, whatever the fuck its name is. I think that's actually the name of it.
Oh wow.
As they kept reminding everybody, this is the pinnacle of the barrel when we reach the bottom of the barrel, okay? This is the game we are playing because we're out of ideas to play games on, okay? This channel will turn to shit and probably die the moment we play Spyro 3, so look for that in your sub boxes. It's coming soon.
Wait, what channel was this?
Friends Without Benefits.
I don't know who that is.
The blue Game Grumps.
I don't know who that is.
You know who the fucking Game Grumps are.
No, I know who the Game Grumps are. I don't know who the blue Game Grumps are.
It's lit. Think about watching Game Grumps,
Hmm.
except the comedy is less safe.
Less what?
Safe.
Oh, well, that's nice.
and instead of there being two people with channels that were prominent, you four guys with channels each under like 10,000 subs.
Well, I'm in no place to judge.
Yeah.
I'll be
Um.
lucky to hit 100 before the year's out.
But then they just talked about the Pro Jared thing, and they were like, "Hey, what a fucking moron."
Yeah.
And that's about all I heard about it, because I honestly never got into that. And then I get a recommendation a few days after the whole Pro Jared incident apparently happened. And, well, what do you know? Team Fortress 2 players are pedophiles. This seems to be a common occurrence
What?
in this odd community.
Wait, back up. What? Who's calling TF2 players pedophiles?
Me.
Oh.
Because it just seems to be a very common occurrence. Every 2 months, someone gets out. Some fucking YouTuber gets out as a pedophile.
Oh, right. You mentioned this, I
The
think last week.
fucking mecha wreck.
Yeah. That's weird. But whatever. I suppose if you want to fuck little girls, that's your prerogative. It's
But
just
it
it's
wasn't
my
girls.
oh. Well, either way,
It's
it's your prerogative. My prerogative is to shoot you in the head.
he wanted 12 to, I think 16 was the oldest,
Jesus.
but it was between like 12 and 16-year-olds to masturbate on camera for him,
That's disgusting.
as it was the only way he could get off.
Bet you watch a lot of
And
lolly hentai.
fucking shoulda hentai. No little girls. Get
Oh.
no little girls. I only want little boys. Gay pedophile.
Well, that's
What are the
something a
odds?
lot of people don't talk about is how little boys get raped a lot more often than little girls. And it's almost always by men. That's not to say there aren't female pedophiles, but it's mostly disgusting fat bodies fucking little boys out here. But of course, that's not talked about because men are disgusting pigs.
True.
But,
Uh, I just thought that was weird.
yeah, it seems there's been a lot of YouTuber controversy as of late. It all started with PewDiePie, and uh, I mean, I don't think anyone's
Produce.
gonna top his controversy just
What?
because it caused the adpocalypse and permanently damaged the platform, which is weird because what happened with the adpocalypse was he said nigger on stream, and then everyone went and bitched to YouTube saying that they want him demonetized or whatever, and then YouTube just like fucking reacted so violently that it flagged it's flagged like PewDiePie and everyone liked PewDiePie and hell here's a handful of other channels, fuck them too, as
Uh,
like these are not advertiser friendly, and they went
to
and
be
told
fair,
advertisers don't advertise on any of these really popular channels, and then advertisers were like okay, and then YouTube's making a shit ton less money and they're like this is all your fault. It's weird.
um, if you want honest opinions,
I'll take dishonest if you're low on honest ones.
okay. Um, the what he does on stream, what he does on YouTube, should be judged very differently. But it was a bad call on his move, seeing that everyone sees him as the face of YouTube at this
Yeah.
point.
Honestly, I don't give a shit. I haven't
Hey,
liked
you
his
don't even,
content in years.
yeah,
I
you
never
don't even
really.
make ads anyway, so
Yeah. And here's the thing, it's just it's retarded. Cuz the whole problem with like nigger being a censored word and being a hateful word is self-perpetuating. You tell people, hey, you can't. You tell white kids, hey, you can't say nigger to black people because it's very offensive to them. We tell black kids, hey, never let white people say nigger because it's offensive to us. So these kids are raised thinking that this word offends black people. So when that black kid gets or the white kid gets into an argument with a black kid, he's gonna call the black kid a nigger because he knows it'll offend him, and the black kid was told that he should be offended by that word. However, if you just tell your kids, nah, don't give a shit about it, guess what? No one will give a shit. Like the only quantifier in being offended, like offensive words and offensive phrases, is your input. You find it offensive. You're the one that gets upset about it. All right. You can't stop other people from saying fucking anything. You can never stop someone from saying any particular word or phrase or whatever that bothers you. You just have to just not be offended by it. It's really, I know that's a very simple way of putting it, but there's really no other way.
It's simple yet effective.
Yeah. Like, yes, were there a bunch of white people calling black people niggers a derogatory thing hundreds of years ago? Yeah. But the only reason it's still said nowadays is because black people still get upset about it. Black people still get upset about it because white people keep calling them that in a mean way. And white people keep calling them that in a mean way because they know black people get upset by it. And black people get upset by it. You see the loop here? Now there's one of two properties to this. There's black people getting offended and white people saying it. And like I said, you can't stop anyone from saying anything because, some people are just dicks. You let
Well,
them know that
look
you
at
can.
Britain. Britain solved that problem very well. If you say anything out of line, you get put in jail for hate speech for like 5 years.
Well, it's better than living on the street in England. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'd rather fucking die in England than literally live there. Okay, I'd rather be dead and buried and fucking. I'd rather move to South Africa as a white man than live
Oof.
in Britain as a white man.
Yeah, it's. Did you hear about what happened in Germany not too long ago?
No.
Some refugee raped I think it was one of the ministers. I can't remember the exact story. I have to try and find it. But a refugee raped, I think it was one of the ministers. It was a politician. It was an actual like active sitting politician. Raped his daughter and held his like at knife point and forced her boyfriend to watch. And then the politician's response was to tell everyone to keep donating to refugee camps. Didn't say anything about, hey, let's fuck this guy. He raped my daughter. He's a bastard. Like, no, just these people are such misfortunate souls. Like, is there no accountability nowadays? Can we not treat people as individuals? It's honestly got retarded. Cause like I don't know. Maybe when I was born, I inherited all the common sense in the world. Because honestly, things have been getting really fucking stupid since the year 2000. But because of this whole racism movement and the end racism thing, we're no longer seeing people as individuals. You are being ranked first and foremost by your race and being associated with people of your race. And it's really fucking racist to do that. Like people don't see the irony of this. Racism in I'll look up the exact definition of racism. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism. So, yeah, if you undermine someone because of their race, not undermine a race, but undermine a person because of their race, or you hate them because of their race, you are racist. It does not matter if they're white, black, or purple. Alright? Racism knows no fucking barriers. It's just race. So when you say, oh, well, white people should be, punished more because black people used to be. No. Here's the thing. We fucked up in the past. Yeah, you know how you account for that? You learn from your mistakes and you correct them so you don't make them again. You don't make them the exact same mistakes again. You know, if I burn my right hand on the stove and think to myself, "Ow, that really burned. What should I do to stop this?" What should I do? Should I turn off the stove? No, I'm going to burn my left hand on it. So that way they're both equally burned. Like what
Oh
the
no,
fuck?
I just kind of turned and tried to find it, and all I can find is some like 2018. Let me double check this. Yeah, January. Nope, January 21st, 2019 was the date when this was written. Basically, a 14-year-old girl in Germany was raped and killed,
Mhm.
and they didn't find her for like 3 weeks after. They saw off automatic messages to say that she was actually running away from her mother, her loving mother, and living in Paris with her boyfriend Armando. But that person did not exist. The voice did not sound like her, and they found her raped and strangled, thrown in a bush near a train track, like 5 miles away from her home.
That's not the story I was talking about, but yeah, it's
No,
like they're.
that's the only one I can find. However,
Mm,
uh, they found the asylum seeker who wasn't even supposed to be there legally,
mhm.
who had assaulted multiple police women.
Mhm.
It specifies that they were exclusively women.
Mhm.
Raped multiple 11-year-old girls,
Mhm.
and straight up killed a couple other people.
Mhm.
And this is actually somehow dividing Germany.
Divi-
Like there are people on the side of no, people like that should be allowed to stay because their country is worse. And I say,
No,
what are you
there's
fucking stupid?
no
What are you
divide.
fucking?
Here's what you do. You give everyone coming in a chance. They get one chance to integrate themselves. If they actually integrate themselves into your country's society, get a job, get a house, settle down, you know, and
Learn
become
the
active
language.
functioning, yeah, and become active functioning members of your society, they're good. Good for them. They are Germans. Welcome them into your home. They are now Germans. If they come into your country and start raping 11-year-old girls and attacking policemen, police women, they are bad. Take that one out back and shoot him in the fucking head.
Send him back to Iran.
Am I
You go back
saying am I
back
saying
to
do
your
that?
war zone.
Am I saying that when one fucks up they all fuck up and you should set them all on a fire? No, not at all, cuz that's psychotic. But the moment one person proves to be a bad fucking apple, you don't keep him in with the harvest of good apples. You throw that one out. Don't
Send
let
him
the
back
bad
to the
apples
fucking.
spoil the bunch. Find the bad apples and fucking throw them away.
And I say, back to the war zone with you, buddy,
Yeah,
and
fuck
send him to
you.
fucking hell.
I think it was okay. As much of a despotic dictator as he is, Vladimir Putin had a great stance on people moving to Russia and like refugees and the like. If they come to, like he said, if they come to my country and they learn Russian, they settle down, they integrate themselves into my society to become a Russian, I will welcome them with open arms. However, if they come in and start trying to take over my country and start trying to bring their society into my country, they are not welcome here. And what part of that does not make sense? If someone settles down next door and they're good neighbors and they settle in, they're friendly, they get along, they get a job, they act as a functioning member of society, why wouldn't you welcome them?
Oh my fucking god! I'm going to kill whoever works on fucking fact checks. They deserve death.
What?
Did you know
Hmm.
that 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 quote I that's hey, thanks, fact checks for calling that an anti-Islam quote, saying that he's actually anti-Islam for saying that.
Yeah, that's I don't.
But I'm gonna be real. Anyone, any country should just say, if you come to the country and you act like a civilized being and you actually try to further progress in the country,
Integrate yourself.
yeah, act, you act like you've been here your whole life. outside your house, but you go home and you do whatever you feel like doing in your own home. You worship who you want in your own home. Like, yeah, but when you leave your house and say, you know, the whole Middle East is a war zone
Yeah.
with not only each other but other
Yeah,
people.
we act like we're the ones that started it. Like, fucking Israel and Syria and all of them have been warring for.
Israel and Palestine are literally shooting each other
Yeah.
for looking at each other's
Yeah,
borders.
just for
Okay,
being alive, they're trying to
don't
murder
say
each other.
the U.S. caused all the wars in the Middle East.
No.
Israel literally shoots people for looking at their border at
I
this
mean, we
point.
kicked the rest of the hive, but it's not like it was a perfect, peaceful fucking place this entire time.
So when you leave a place because, man, I don't want to get involved in a pointless war, and you go to another country, I don't understand the thought process of I should make this country just like old country.
Yeah,
If you left the old country because it's so bad, why are you going to a new place to turn it into the old
exactly.
place?
And the stance you'll never hear. You'll never see an interview with actual like people who legally immigrate into these countries. Like for instance, on the whole Mexico wall thing we have here going on. You'll never see an interview with a Mexican who like immigrated legally into the country. I have known several people whose parents left Mexico and came to America so that their child could have a better life, and every single one will tell me, "Oh yeah, it's horrible there. My parents fled here for a reason." And they honest to God hate all these illegal immigrants coming in, and because they make a bad name for the legal ones. And you know what's hilarious? Californians are starting to flee to Texas because guess what? A bunch of illegal immigrants are coming in and taking over.
To be fair, I went to school. Uh, there was already like this big divide. Because some of them were like, "Oh no, the wall is big racism
Hmm.
against Mexicans," and some of them were like, "Yeah, but if you're gonna come here, can you please do it legally?" My
Yeah.
parents did, and you know what caused the imbalance of more people saying, "No, you should come here legally"?
What?
When I don't remember when in the year because it was my senior year, so it'd be a year ago. But a group of people came along and said, "We are dreamers. Our parents are illegal immigrants, but we
Hmm.
were born in America, so we are legal,
Hmm.
and our parents are not. Do not separate me. We called ourselves dreamers." When one kid said, I'm a dreamer. I know my parents are illegal immigrants, but if they didn't, if they built the wall and my parents could have come here, no other Mexican parents could have come here. And that's how you create a really big divide because he spat on everyone whose parents did come here legally by saying no one came here legally. And he was also the kid that claimed he said everyone in America is an illegal immigrant because the first
Oh,
people that came
that's
here
the.
were illegal.
There's a
And
difference between coming to there's a difference between going to a completely untamed hostile land and running out the people that live there. Yeah, that was a bit mean. But the vast majority of America was uncivilized. Like there was no they were like the people we like to think that Native Americans owned every single inch of landmass on America. No, not at all. They there were certain areas where tribes inhabited because those were good areas. We came along, went around them, and took up all the other areas. We eventually went back and took over their place because some Native Americans were hostile to us. They didn't want they saw white people, they were like, fuck that shit, get out of here. They started fucking firing on us. We traded firearms to some of the nicer tribes, and you know what they did? They went and tried to stomp on the remaining tribes and take their land. Like we didn't come to a nation of Native Americans, like fully built up nation, and be like, "Hey, this is our home now." We're it's like, what'd you call this? The fucking Buffalo Mound? I don't know. I'm just It's like, what's your country called? Butterscotch Land? Fuck that. We're calling it the United States of America. Get out. This is our home now. Yeah, I know we just came here and you've been here. Now fuck off. This is ours now. Like, was it fucked up how we committed genocide on Native Americans? Yes. Were they 100% the victims? No. But here's the thing, you try and say that. You try and point out the individuals and the difference between, you're a racist. Here's the thing, if I tell you the difference between Hitler and Stalin, people will be like, oh yeah, no, they were very different. Yeah. If I tell you the difference between, like, oh fuck, I don't even know. Like, you know, Muhammad over there who comes into Germany and blows himself up in a coffee shop and kills 12 people in the name of Allah, and fucking, I honestly don't know another Middle Eastern name. Assad over there who settled down peacefully and, has a small business selling falafel and shit. If I try and point out the difference between them, I'm a racist.
Oh man, I think it's a movie quote. I think it's a movie quote. Do not quote me on this.
Don't quote
I'm
me
think
on quoting someone.
yeah. And I don't even know it verbatim anyway. I know the concept of it.
What's the rough quote? What's the out of
Uh,
context?
how everyone talk. Okay, it's basically everyone says that the Indians sat around and were all peaceful, and then white man came along and chewed them all out. No, y'all were they were you guys were fighting with each others for thousands of years before we even came along, and then we just came along and beat you at it. And now that you realize you can't win, you say, "Hey, wait, no, we were peaceful this whole time."
Yeah,
I'll find it
you do that. Because, for
eventually.
example, the tribe that inhabited the area around where Mount Rushmore currently is, people nowadays are screaming about how it's horrible and it's a disgrace and a mockery because the mountain was once held sacred by this tribe. Here's the thing: we were friends with the tribe that inhabited the area. We sold them guns, and they took those guns and fucking eradicated their resounding tribes. They went, they killed all the men, like fucking took their women and raped them and took their land. And yeah, they weren't a peaceful sit around and smoke the peace pipe and make good. No, they were fucking warmongers just like us. Just like everyone else. We act like we have to divide ourselves into races. We really don't. The first step to solving racism permanently is to just not see it. Don't consider people by their race. If you just say that's a man, that's a woman, that's a child, at some is like, there's a hardworking man at his job, providing for his family. He could be any race. Doesn't matter what his skin color is. If you see some dude fucking run around and cut people's heads off with a broadsword, it doesn't matter what their race is. They're a psycho. But until that, like, no one wants to think about this because they think if we stop seeing race, that's racist. No. If you stop having fucking like predispositions towards certain races, that is the exact opposite of racism. If you treat everyone the same and give everyone the same amount of respect regardless of race, that's equality. Equality is not, fucking exterminating the white race because they did a lot of bad shit to people in the name of diversity. Yeah, let's get rid of a race for diversity. And oh, look, now there's one less, and now the world's less diverse. Whoopsie daisy. It's like if in the name of diversity we took the rainbow and just made it completely brown. You know who'd be in support of that? Psychos. Not black people, not gay people, just psychos. It's like, yeah, the rainbow is now brown, and the rainbow that actually appears in the sky when it rains is racist. I don't know a single black person who would be like, yeah, I like that. They'd be like, that's fucking crazy. Why would you do that? But whatever. We're off to a strong start, spending about 30 minutes shouting about racism. Honest, it's not like we have any other topics to talk about. This is just what it all boils down to. I guess. Whenever I don't have anything else to talk about, I just scream about how everyone but me is retarded and they need to be smart like me. God, I was just when I was born, I was cursed with such great intelligence. I know someone out there is gonna get kind of pissy. It's just like, oh, fuck you. What are you so egotistical about, moron? It's just like, it's better than being self-deprecating. It honestly gets tiring how everyone days are like, oh, I just want to die. I'm so shit. I'm so bad. No. It's like, fuck you. I think everyone should be an egotist. You know? Take pride in yourself, not your
I'll
race.
say this: the current wave of anti-racism is more of a. So if I sit down and say I don't want anyone but my own race here, I can be either a proud fighter of racism or a literal Nazi.
All depending on your race.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I think the dumbest part is this idea that if, we all settle together and have a big melting pot country where all races are equal and together, there'll be peace. I doubt it. Even if there was no more racial tension on the planet, just like everyone just decided to stop seeing each other by race, like I said, and just get along, there still wouldn't be world peace. The reason why humans go to war with each other is because nature designed us this way. We proved that we could overcome any fucking natural predator. We fought off illnesses and diseases that were created to try and keep our population in control. So the only thing that can stop humans is other humans. That's why we go to war with each other. It's nature trying to keep us balanced. And even now, we're trying to fight that. And guess what? We're killing the planet because of it.
Oh, also, how do you feel about people saying the Europeans committed chemical warfare against natives with by giving them smallpox blankets?
That was not intentional. It was intentionally on accident. Was the thing. Because here's the thing, our understanding of medicine was nowhere near that advanced enough at the time to know that, the Europeans who had been around these illnesses and these bacteria for so long had become resistant, while it hadn't been around everywhere else. We just figured, oh, we got sick from this disease, therefore these people must have gotten sick from this disease. I mean, yeah, that was kind of fucked up, but again, that's hundreds of years in the past. We've learned our mistakes and we've grown from them. Well, not really. Fucking again, looking back to the Middle East, Palestine and Israel are out here bombing hospitals on the either side. It's honestly fucked up. But what am I gonna do about it? Fucking nothing. No one wants to listen to me, so I'll just.
I'm
Mm,
gonna be honest. White people are bad because we wiped out all the in the current in the current state of United States of America. We wiped out most of them and then said, hey, you guys can have some federal land, and you guys actually don't actually matter. We have no control over that, except we do.
nah.
We do and don't, and say it's all yours, and then they get benefits. I mean, we could have been Spaniards, like I am, just kind of roll up to Central America, South America, and if it's not in metal armor
Fucking shoot it.
and a Spaniard, it dies.
Yeah. And I love that Mexico wanted the Spanish president to apologize for them conquering Mexico, and he said fuck off. Well, he didn't say fuck off, but he said no.
He's he effectively told them to fuck off.
Like, if someone asked me to apologize for World War II, fuck off. I didn't have anything to do with it. I was, like, my parents weren't even born. What makes you think I'm responsible? Why don't we hold the people who actually did this shit responsible? You want an apology for discovering this entire fucking continent? Go fucking get mad at Christopher Columbus or hell, even the Vikings. They've been coming here since long before Christopher Columbus did. That got stupid. Just next time someone does something stupid, how about instead of saying it's like, oh well, what race were they, or oh what sex were they, or oh what religion were they? Just say, fuck that guy. You know? Don't tar everyone else with the same goddamn brush.
I find it funny that Elizabeth Warren sits at the seat of the Democratic Party. She's up there on some of the more influential ones because she has removed everyone's memory of her claiming to be a Native American.
Yeah, well, because you know.
She claimed to be a Native American and got a ton of benefits for it, and
Hmm.
then she got called out saying there's literally no proof, and she said, "Okay, I'll show you." And I think it was I,
Yeah, I have
I
about as much
will.
Native American me as she does, and I have literally zero Native American blood in me. Most Americans are at least like 1/16th. I am 0% Native American.
Uh,
My ancestors immigrated legally from Germany and I think England long after the whole Native American kerfuffle.
I will look it up right now.
You do that. She's like 1/16th Cherokee. If being 1/16th Cherokee made you 100% Cherokee, then honestly, like there would be more Cherokees in this country than black people. Hell, some black people would be considered Cherokee. It's fucking ridiculous. At the same time, what's the other one? Nancy Pelosi.
I don't even know her name.
Yeah. Well, Trump recently said that they were like rethinking the immigration policy and wanted to have like a merit policy, so that kind of like what I was saying is like good people were let in and people that just want to come in here and fuck shit up aren't. People that actually want to be Americans are more than welcome. All everyone else is told to fuck off.
Okay, so she was at best 1,024th Native American. The to be, I think it's a 60. No, I don't even think it's a 64. Um, I'll look it up.
My friend
I
Connor
know
is
it
more
doesn't go
Native
past
American than her.
what?
My friend Connor is actually 1/16th Cherokee.
Did you know that most Americans that are of English descent are more than 1,024th
Mm-hmm.
percent Native American, meaning that there are more Americans of
Mm-hmm.
English descent that are more Native American than her, and they don't get any benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And
And what she had to
that
say
that's
about this? Just nothing. We forgot about it.
the percentage that they even considered it was 0.09 at
Nice.
best. And I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But I believe, if I'm right, in order to get benefits in Oklahoma specifically, uh, you got to be, I think, it's a 30-second. Native. You can go back as far as 32nd generation, 1/32nd
Mm.
to have any benefit, which means she way way out there.
Yep.
And then fact checks when Donald Trump said she doesn't have any Native American blood. She's like, well, actually, she has 1 billion. She has a 1 billion of a Native American blood. You are wrong. Like, no, more Americans are Native American than her. And
Technically
don't
speaking, he was wrong. She does have some Native
I'll
American in
call
her.
it wrong, but they called it a big fat lie, and I'll say no. The fact that it's such a minuscule amount should just be considered zero,
Yeah,
especially due to the fact that she claims that she pure. She would claim that she has a high amount and also use that for benefits,
yeah.
like teaching a class on Native American and other things at high universities and getting paid for that. And I say, wait a second, maybe I should do this DNA test, and if I have more than that, I should just claim to be part Native American. Maybe I can do that.
Maybe.
Maybe I should do that. I should just do that,
You really
and then
shouldn't.
say I should, and then I'll go to college for free. I'll say I'm a Native American. And then they'll say, oh, how much are you? I'll say, well, I have more than Elizabeth Warren, and if she can do it, then I can do it. I don't understand the problem here.
Alright.
It's how I'm gonna go to it's how I'm gonna go to university for 4 years.
I don't
I'm gonna
trust any of those DNA checker services. I don't know. I just don't trust them. Call me paranoid, but I don't have a lot of trust for most institutions these days.
Hey, let's get off this topic. Let's talk about how I wasted 29 keys
Sure, what the
in
fuck did you
Team
buy
Fart 2.
today?
Nothing.
Alright, what did you buy? What was the last retardedly expensive item you bought?
A Blizzardy Storm pencil pusher,
Fucking why?
because it matches well with my Disco Beatdown.
Do you even wear the pencil pusher? Wait, that's just the pencil behind the NG's ear, isn't it?
Yeah,
Chicky.
it's a misc.
29 keys?
It's a misc.
Yeah, granted, but fucking whatever.
Hey, it looks. I have a double unusual NG set, and it looks pretty good.
Good
Also,
for
I have a
you.
cool Rescue Ranger, so it kind of all stacks up. It looks pretty good, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
sure. I never really cared too much about unusuals. I mean, I'm grateful as shit for the ones that my fans have given to me.
Look, I don't give a shit about how expensive they are. I give a shit on how good they look. Okay,
Yeah, no, no,
with
I
my
get it.
set.
I get it. You're not like fucking Sunky out here wearing a flaming and a blaze or flaming and scorching
I'm not
flame.
sunky. I ain't claiming to be a female
Burning, that's it.
for. I ain't sunky. I ain't claiming to be transgender for free items. You're right.
You're also not wearing a blazing and not
I'm
blazing.
not wearing a burning flame
Burning.
strange.
Why could I not find that fucking word? Ugh.
I'm not out here wearing a strange burning flames federal casemaker because it's a one of two and it's like a billion keys. Like, and then I say, okay, but why are you still shit at this game? And they go, well, my one item in my backpack is worth more than your entire backpack, so you're
Yeah,
gonna get an opinion.
okay, but why
And
are
I
you
say,
still
okay,
bad at the
and I
game?
say, okay, but why are you playing medic with 10 healing and one score? Wave 3 of Empire. Like, what are you doing? I don't
Yeah.
talk to poor people. You're just bad at the game. I go, nigga, you AFK'd for the last 3 waves. Don't tell me I'm bad.
Yeah. But like getting back to what I was saying, I don't really care too much about unusuals. I mean, I appreciate the ones people have given to me. They're nice, but I'm not out here like, oh, I only wear these effects because they look better than others, or oh, I only wear like these hats and the like colored hats, and like I don't give a shit. If it's a nice
I
hat,
mean,
I'll wear it. If it has particle effects coming off of it, cool.
I'm going to go search quiet quality unusual. Let me tell you the unusual effects that I own. Uh,
Also, Joey is not available on Friday.
damn.
That's coming Friday is a negative until my availability is fixed. Okay.
Let go to slot misc effects that I own. Disco Beatdown, Green Black Hole, Blizzardy Storm, two masked flies, a green confetti, two dead presidents, green energy. 3 kilowatts. 2 smokings, an omnipotent orb, death at dusk, and steaming.
Nice.
You know how many of those are actually considered good effects?
How many?
Green energy, death at dusk.
Fucking nice. Yeah,
But
it's,
I mean,
I mean, if you
does
like the
that?
effects, that's cool. But I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't go out of my way to spend a shit ton on an unusual. But that's the nice thing about being semi-popular. People give you shit.
Yeah.
I
I
always
mean,
hold that charity is much more effective way of getting stuff from people than like trying to force them.
yeah.
We
I
act
mean,
like everyone's all out for themselves and bloodthirsty, but no, like people are still very charitable these days.
gonna be honest. Oh, like I've gotten shit for wearing masked flies before because it's not a very good effect. You should go for something better. And then I say, yeah, but it matches my set,
Crown of the Mexican King.
and it's unwashed hair. I'm a stupid, smelly man.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I say, no, I'm cosplaying as a guy I know. He's a stupid, smelly man.
He smells like butt cheeks.
And then they're like, well, you should go for a better effect. And I go, no, I like this effect. It's the only full body effect, and it's so obnoxious. And they go, well, I don't really like it because it's not worth much. And I say,
Okay, stop looking at
why
me
does
then.
why does the worth of the hat mean so much?
Well, like these are the same people who buy like Gucci belts. It's
Yeah,
fucking retarded.
actually, there's 3 full body effects in the game:
What are they?
the confettis and masked flies, and they're all low tier. And I own
Yeah.
a green confetti, and I own a couple masked flies.
Honest to God, I like the confetti effect. I think it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's why you like my pyro set.
This. Well, I don't know about your set.
Well, I wear a green confetti. Uh,
No, I know, but I don't
I
know.
renamed it, by the way.
What'd you name it?
I gave it a really stupid name.
I'm sure.
Party Rock Party in progress.
That is very stupid. How astute.
I
God.
know. I mean, go look at the names of all my unusuals and
Oh
uh,
boy, let's since we have nothing else to talk about. Hold on, let me just
tell me which ones are like actual, like not garbage.
let me just drop all these tabs. What is this? A comment. Ooh, a comment on my profile. I wonder if it's a scam. Oh, it's just you.
Got him.
As they say in Yemen, squiggly lines. How
Ooh.
true. How true.
I mean, you can just go to my front page. I got most of them sitting there in the item showcase.
I don't like how you're part of a group that's called Traps Are Not Gay. That's a bold-faced lie.
I think you're a bold-faced retard.
That may be true, but at least I'm not a liar. Alright, let's see. You're 45 different unusuals.
That includes that's actually 44, 43. No, 44. I bought the director's vision unusual flyer,
Nice.
but
Alright,
it was literally $8.
let's
Okay, you
see.
can't stop me.
A steaming federal case maker called Crown of the King of R/TF2. A Death at Dusk Dark Falkirk helm, strange Dark Falkirk helm called Pizza Boy's Midnight Pizza Run. A kilowatt Patriot Peak called something in Korean.
Thanks.
A Masked Flies Antarctic eyewear called Scott O's very own unwashed hair. Yep, that's the one we were talking about, the smelly boy.
Slap activated
Gas
gas bomb,
bomb,
the
yeah.
only unnamed, renamed unusual taunt.
The Smoking Voices from Below Soldered Sensei called If Love is a Drug. I'm going to assume you haven't, like, that was the name when you bought it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just keeping it there because it makes no sense at all.
Yeah. A Smoking Brimful of Bullets called Sniper's Brokeback Mountain Story. An Omniscient Orb Highway Star called The Wise Bandana Man. A kilowatt team captain called something in Chinese.
It's
Step
actually
one. Oh yeah, that's the
it's
indecipherable Chinese grunting.
in Japanese.
Yeah.
It's actually in Japanese.
Sorry. Step one, there's like, and the description: one, drink all the shampoo in the house. Two, eat shit. Three, die. Let's see. A dead president's tartan Tyrolean called Drunkard's Dosh Maker.
That was the name I bought it with.
Nice. A kilowatt snow capped called something in Japanese.
Chinese.
Sorry.
That one's in Chinese.
Whatever. Do you know what it says?
Yeah, indecipherable Korean grunt. No, hold on. The Japanese is about the Chinese. The Koreans are about the No, Koreans are about. Okay, I will
Okay,
translate
while
it.
you're doing that, we have a green energy polar bear called Unhealthy Dose of Green Peen. A dead president's toy tailor called Crown of the Nigerian Prince. The Green Confetti Brigade hum called Party Rock Party in Progress. A masked flies wide brim bandito called Crown of the Mexican King. Your Blizzardy Storm pencil pusher called Frozen Wasteland in a Warm Place. Going to assume that was the name you bought it with.
Yeah.
Green Black Hole Big Country called Grandpa's Reality Warping Hair. A Disco Beatdown Big Country called Grandpa's World Renowned Hair. And that's it as far as named things go.
Okay, so the snow capped is in Chinese and says incomprehensible Korean hum.
Okay.
The Patriot's Peak is in Korea
It is,
is in
I know
Korean,
that one's Korean.
and it says and it is indecipherable Japanese grunting, and then the team captain is indecipherable Chinese grunting. They all read
Ah,
the same thing. They just say a different. They're all making fun at another language.
and that's funny. I like that. Alright, let's see.
I'm thinking about renaming my weapons. I only have three of them actually now. Now that I have the energy orb, I only don't own a hot, but I don't have any hats that would have a hot.
Do you really need one though?
Not really. That's also the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have a bunch of collector's items. I have nine, one on each class. They're all not only the cheapest ones, also ones that I could give stupid names to, except
Yep.
for the Southern Hospitality and the Overdose because I actually use those.
Nice. We're nearing
Say
an
it, I got this.
hour, and honestly, I don't think this episode's going to push past an hour, just because, again, we don't have any real topics to talk about. So unless we come up with something soon, we could end this.
Well, I want to finish
Alright, yeah, keep talking about your
calling
unusuals.
people gay.
Yeah, sure.
All I'm saying is I'm gonna find Ben Shapiro and then I'm gonna tell him to make a Steam account if he doesn't have one and sign my libtard launcher.
Ben Shapiro's libtard launcher.
It's so stupid. I bought it with the professional kill streak on it. All I had to do was rename it, and I think it was like 6 keys or something. Let's see, how much is it worth? 7 keys. I think I bought it 7.7 keys. I think I actually bought it for 7 flat.
Nice. Wheeling and dealing.
I mean, the most expensive collectors I have are a strange Chad degree because I bought it as a basic collector's third degree, put with 3 kills with 3 parts attached to it for the price of a normal one. I put my own professional kill streaker on it.
Nice.
I put my own name, and I transferred the kills on my old strange and said goodbye to it. Actually, I think I still have it because it's only worth like 2 ref, and I said I don't need 2 ref.
Well, you said goodbye, but you didn't get rid of it.
Yeah, and then it's almost at 13 keys. A strange collector's professional kill streak cleaner's carbine.
Oh.
I put tanks destroyed, and then it came with robot spies and robot scouts on it.
Hmm.
They're expensive because they're the only ones with strange parts, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
All my other ones are professional kill streak as well. They're just expensive because they have strange parts on it.
Yeah.
That's it, and they're not even good parts either.
No.
Both of my strangers have tanks. Just have one's all about tanks, and the other one's kind of worthless. I mean, hell, my most expensive strange is my wrench, my Aussie wrench. But the one that's probably seen the most action as of parts is definitely that Kritzkrieg with 131,000 ally healing done, 1,500 Ubers, and almost 500 kill assists. And I don't even play casual that often.
Yeah. You mainly use it for MVM.
That's all I really play.
Yeah.
Anyways, what we can do is talk about D&D because you said you wanted to save that funny
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
the Pod-Crust.
Yeah, how Keemstar saved our campaign. Oh, fucking joy. Alright. Well, let's talk about this right quick and end on a high note. So, this was 2 weeks ago. For those of you who don't know by now, you're stupid. But Gage and I and a couple friends have D&D sessions every week when I'm not doing streams. Also, if I ever don't do a stream, just assume it's because I'm doing something D&D related. It'll help. But so a few weeks ago, we were having a session in one of Gage's games, multiple games that he DMs, and I was playing my barbarian, Hargon the Savage, also known as Hargon the Hungry. Not for any real reason, just because Gage called me that once.
Because he's hungry, okay?
He's never done anything
It's, I mean,
eating.
technically, you would be the hungriest of all of them.
Eh,
Gwen lives in a mansion. Actually, he lived in a mansion,
yeah,
and his papa had like a big storage of food. So much, in
our
fact, that he
human
had a
paladin slash warlock lives in a mansion. Our bone tiefling is a bone tiefling, and our Kenku is a murder hobo who collects meat. So if
uh,
anyone here is hungry, it's Hargon.
I will actually pull up the game right now,
Mm.
and I think his rations, which are actually just bags of meat at this point. They're not even they're fucking course meals at this point. I believe they actually exceed 100.
Wow. That
And
would come in
remember,
handy if you ever took rations from our inventory.
I do.
Do
I just
you?
take them from his actually. I
Oh.
take one every like major trip, because these are 5 pound bags of meat that he has like 100 of.
Right. And this little
Let's go.
Kenku is carrying 500 pounds of meat.
I like how you call him little, but he's 5'7".
That's. He's still a little bird man. Also, are Kenku really supposed to be that tall?
Um, so the height, so the tallest that most Kinku get are 5'5". He is a giant among their race.
Exactly.
Uh, it's so stupid. Let's go. Let's go look at his rations. Ah, it's 84. 84 5 pound bags of meat.
Jesus Christ.
He's also the richest of all of you with like $1 billion.
Because he doesn't spend any of his gold, he's a murder hobo.
Uh,
Anyway, off
actually,
topic, very much so off topic. Getting back to a topic. So, 2 weeks ago, we began our session in the middle of a fucking forest that we were trying to pass through. The Toxic Forest. We didn't know why it was called the Toxic Forest. We were just passing through.
it's actually a jungle.
Toxic Jungle, sorry. So, just imagine you're playing Dota or League of Legends, and you have to
Yeah.
go through the Toxic Jungle.
Just imagine any MOBA on the standard, 5 person with the jungle. You,
Yes.
you got the jungle in the middle.
Yes.
That's literally what it is.
Well,
Okay,
I was
boys.
thinking more the Jungler.
Yeah. It's where
Like
they
they're
all live.
toxic. Whatever. You clearly don't play a lot of MOBAs. Speaking of which, I should get back into League of Legends. Off topic.
No, no, you shouldn't.
Getting back to this, so we were going through the toxic jungle when a voice started calling out to us. Not like a prophetic, you are the chosen ones kind of thing. More like a, hey, get the fuck out of my jungle, you fuckheads. And it was harassing us the entire time until we eventually came across a large statue covered in moss and vines and all that old jungle shit in the middle of it. We decided to take a break and investigate it. And a voice called out from the statue saying, "Get the fuck out of my jungle, you stupid rat bastards." And we asked, "Well, why do you want us out of your jungle? Like, we're just trying to pass through." It's just like, just last guy that came in here fucking ruined everything. So fuck you. Get out of my jungle. And so Hargon, not taking any shit from a statue, punched it, this giant, like 80-foot statue, and tipped it over onto its back. So that's the story of the toxic. No, not really.
Yeah.
We went to move around the statue and continue on our way when we noticed a gnome, but not just any gnome. It was a peculiar gnome because it had the face of fucking Keemstar. Because Gage half joked, half threatened to add to this campaign a gnome that is Keemstar.
So what ended up happening was they made their path out of town, and they're like, okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pass through Hombalad and catch a boat and go to Canada, travel through the toxic jungle, and go to Lancelot's castle so he can pick
Yeah.
up his ship because they were all kidnapped.
We were going
And
to our warlock slash paladin's castle because he's rich
and
as
they
shit.
got kidnapped, so he said, I gotta go here first. It's probably the most. It's not only the closest place, it's also the most helpful because
Yeah.
he's got a ton of shit just laying around
So now you
and a
know.
fucking dragon. He has a
Yeah.
literal dragon in there, and he says, "Hold on, boys, we gotta stop by my house so I can pick up my pet
I gotta go.
dragon."
I gotta go feed my pet dragon. Then we can continue. So now you know why we were passing the toxic jungle. So we saw Gekiller Gekeemstar, as we called him, because he was a gnome, and he was not pissed, or he was not happy that we flipped over his statue. He was actually quite pissed. So he tried to attack us, and our warlock paladin, our what is his level distribution here?
Um,
I know he's mostly paladin, right?
eight. He's a level 8 conquest paladin, level 5 celestial warlock.
Yeah, a level 8 Oath of Conquest paladin, level 5 celestial warlock. So combat initiates, and Gekeemstar gets within his zone of rape, as I call it, where his I'm gonna pull up the exact stats for this because actually, why don't you, Gage? You're the DM. If anyone should be telling the story, it should be you, or at least helping.
Okay, well then. It's his Aura of Conquest.
There it is.
Anyone within 10 feet of him, has to take a it's a Wisdom saving throw.
Hmm.
So he actually has to activate it. The
Yeah, he activated his aura of conquest. It was.
Conquest,
Yeah, of conquest,
Aura of Conquest.
forcing
And
Gekeemstar to make a Wisdom saving throw or be terrified of him,
yeah,
and Keemstar
he
failed.
has 0 feet of movement, and well, he fails
Yeah, he fails
because
miserably. So
and Lancelot's immediate action is to knock him down. Now that he has 0 feet of movement, he can't stand back up
yeah, he's knocked
unless he
prone
passes.
with 0 feet of movement. So there's no way for him to go anywhere unless he passes Wisdom saving throw. But before he could get another chance to do that, Hargon, my Goliath barbarian, approaches, ties him up, and lifts him up and starts to interrogate him. Why are you such an asshole? Why are you, he's like, what's so bad? Like, why won't you want let us pass through your jungle? And while Hargon is interrogating Gekeemstar, a fucking dragon flies overhead. And I think only two people out of the party noticed. Our bone tiefling monk, who
Who
was
was in a tree?
who
Who was
was
in a tree
yeah,
for like no reason?
he
I don't
just
remember the
decided to
exact
climb a
reason.
tree
Yeah.
because we were
So
busy dealing with good
so I
Keemstar.
said, hey, I need everyone to roll a perception.
Yeah,
Uh, except for Chatlet with his 22 passive perception. He has an eyes of the eagle,
yeah,
and he rolled it anyway and rolled above a 22. And I said, well, you pass regardless.
yeah. You're
And
just flexing at this point.
he notices, and our bone tiefling
Who's in a
Gwyn,
tree?
who he rolls just enough so he doesn't see the dragon. No, I had two sets. It was a 17 to hear but not see, 19 to see and hear. He rolled an 18.
Yeah, so he
He
heard a dragon,
he heard this dragon, and Chatlit,
saw it,
looks up in the sky, and he sees this massive silver dragon flying overhead real fast.
and so everyone, or not everyone, but they're like, guys, there's a
They
dragon.
don't, they said, oh, there's a dragon flying overhead.
Yeah.
Maybe there's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah.
But then
And Hargon's all
back
like,
around,
there's no dragon over. If there was a dragon, I would know there's a dragon. And then, pretty much after I said that,
it loops
some
back
dude,
around.
some dude just dropped out of the sky off of the dragon and landed about what, like 40 feet away from Hargon?
He was 50
50
feet away
feet.
from all of you.
Yeah, landed about 50 feet back from Hargon. And so Hargon turned around to face this dude who just dropped out of the sky. When his dragon comes down and lands once again behind Hargon, now that he's facing the uh, the dude who was riding the dragon. And so,
Dragon never actually landed. The dragon was still considered airborne until it flapped its wings.
oh right,
But the guy on his immediate turn, because nobody could, actually bother to go beat the shit out of this guy. Dude is a wizard. So to describe him best to you guys, imagine your generic like Gandalf kind of wizard, but he has a great sword and is wearing plate armor,
yeah,
but still is a fucking spellcaster.
yeah. So he lands behind Hargon. Hargon turns around and everyone looks to face him. And then the dragon doesn't land. Correction, just kind of hovers behind everyone else when they're turned away from. And the wizard, to start off, fucking froze the ground beneath us in this huge fucking radius around us, and freezing everyone in place, except for Gwyn, who was in a tree. So
Yeah,
his meme tree climbing actually helped to save his life here.
yeah,
So we're all frozen to the ground, and there's a dragon behind us. So we're frozen, and while we're still recoiling from that, the dragon behind us flaps his wings so hard that Keemstar gets unfrozen from the ice, because Hargon had to drop him when he saw the wizard land behind him. So
Actually, Keemstar, I don't even think you dropped him. Keemstar, I don't think was frozen, but the flapping of the wings.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
so they were encased from soles of their feet all the way up to their hip in ice. Hargon thought, big idea. What if he just smacks the ice?
yeah. So I dropped
So
Keemstar.
he tore off like most of the ice on one leg, on his left leg, went over to his right leg, and then looked back and his left leg was already refrozen before he even started making dents on his right. So I'm stuck here unless someone pries me out of here.
Yeah, so we're all entrapped in this ice except for Keemstar, who I just dropped, and is still hogtied. Like, I tied him up real well before I started interrogating him. So he was dropped on the floor when the dragon flapped its wings, which knocked Lancelot Duloc, our Warlock Paladin hybrid, and Chatlet, our Kenku murder hobo, knocked them so, like,
Gloomstalker Ranger,
yeah,
who he's renamed to a meme stalker because that's what the class is.
it's really overpowered. But getting back to the story, flapped its wings hard enough to knock them free from the ice and send Keemstar just flying away. Not like out of the map, but just like like well away from where anyone could untie him. While Hargon was still frozen in the ice. Remember that this was frozen in ice, petrified. Can't, like, not petrified, but cannot move. My movement speed was 0. I was frozen in ice. So Hargon, in a fit of, well, rages. Because being a Path of the Berserker, uh, no, sorry, I got free of the ice first. Like, okay, so Gwyn, the Bone Tiefling monk, and I think Chatlet as well, decided to go beat up the wizard.
You all focused on the dragon,
Right.
except for Gwyn.
Yeah, Gwyn went to
Uh,
beat up the wizard while Chatlet and Lancelot were trying to help Hargon get free.
so I have the rules up here.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever the silver dragon uses wing attack,
Mm-hmm.
which is what it used, a creature takes 2d6 plus 8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way that they were encased in ice, they actually took double. So they took a 46 plus 16, and right off the bat, we're down 31 health. That means
Mm-hmm.
nothing to our Gloomstalker Ranger with 150 health as of right now, and it's one level up anyway.
Yeah.
But he took a level in sorcerer, so he's in the one. He was in the 130s. I'm gonna be fair
Yeah.
with you, but that means a lot to Lancelot. He had 80 something health, and to be almost knocked down by half right off the start of a battle,
It's pretty heavy.
kind of heavy. But hey, they're free.
Yeah. But I don't remember exactly how they got Hargon free, but we
They
did.
hit you. They
Yeah.
busted you out of the ice by waiting for your ice to, because it was slowly melting, but you were going to be restrained until the very end. So they just waited until it was well past your knees and said, "Well, this is better time than ever," and just ripped you out of the ice, and you took some
Oh yeah.
damage.
You're
But
talking about a
it wasn't
D&D
as bad.
story, Eagle.
It wasn't that bad.
No, they ripped Hargon out of the ice, and in a fit of raged. Not only raged, but frenzied, being a Path of the Berserker barbarian, and just charged and started going to town on this dragon, along with Lancelot, our paladin, and Chatlet, the ranger, while Gwyn was in the back fighting the wizard by himself. God bless him. We managed to do quite a bit of damage to the dragon when Keemstar cut himself free. And Keemstar, in a fit of charity, decided that the dragon and the wizard dude are a bigger threat than the traveling band of assholes passing through his territory. So decides to help us out and gives us a big ol' heal, a group heal, which was very much appreciated.
A mass healing word
Hmm.
of 16 to everybody.
Well, every little bit helps.
Yeah, no. That meant a lot to Lancelot because Lancelot actually healed maximum from that.
Hmm.
No, because of the ice and the dragon's wing attack. No, Lancelot didn't heal max. His spirit was instantly
Yeah,
fucking killed, so he did heal 16. So the maximum of, I think that was maximum.
yeah.
Anyway,
So yes, uh, so yeah, gave us all a heal and was helping us out through the battle. And we got the dragon pretty low. I think no one went down before the dragon did, right?
no,
Yeah. So
no
everyone
one went
was
down. You could have gone down if you weren't raging,
yeah.
because that dragon scored some massive hits on
Oh
you,
yeah.
and with
He
your
had,
resistances, you took 52 damage from it
yeah.
just beating the ever loving shit out of you.
Yeah. And I want to let you all in on something here. So Gage in his D&D sessions has a homebrew magic system, like an elemental magic thing, where everyone has an affinity. Weeaboo. Weeaboo? What is weeaboo about Dungeons and Dragons? Oh well. It has a homebrew magic system in place. For like everyone has an elemental affinity, and certain affinities counter others, etc., etc., etc. And Hargon had fire. However, he's a barbarian, so he can't cast any homebrew spells that Gage has. So instead, I got to come up with passive effects. One of which that Hargon could have active at any time in place of having, like spells ready. And the one I had, I call Death in Flames, where if Hargon takes more than 30% of his max health in damage in one hit, he rolls a what's it? 2d8?
Okay, so death and fire.
Yeah, death and fire. That's
Uh,
it.
let's pull it up. So you roll it's 2d10.
2d10. And
So
then an
upon
extra.
taking,
Yeah,
I will read this word for word. Uh, with without the parentheses
yeah, just
of
go
your
with it.
health because I do have it in parentheses so we can keep track of it. But upon taking 30% damage, you explode in a eruption of intense flames, dealing 2d10 damage to enemies and allies within 10 feet. For every extra 10% damage on top of that, uh, past the 30% threshold, you add another d10 to the damage roll and 5 feet to the radius to a maximum of 20 feet. It can be held up for 2 turns after before it is instantly used regardless of the situation.
Yeah. So basically, when I take a hard enough hit, Hargon explodes in flames, dealing damage to everything near him, both ally and enemy. And the range increases the more damage he takes. And it happened once already in the fight against the dragon. I took about 30% of my health and
Yeah.
rolled a very bare minimum damage for the
Yeah.
explosion against the dragon, which was kind of sad, but oh well. So we kept fighting the dragon, and Gwyn kept fighting the wizard, and everything was going well enough until we killed the dragon. The wizard was prepared for this. Realizing that, we might focus the dragon before the wizard because obvious threat difference here, he had something planned in case his dragon died. And so, as Hargon cleaved the fucking dragon's head off, it exploded.
Uh, it exploded in its breath weapon attack.
Hmm.
That's literally what it was. Except, no, including its paralysis. That's
Hmm.
what it was. The thing was set to become a massive breath weapon in a 360-degree radius of
It was a
60 feet
bomb.
out. So I said, "Okay, everybody, because you're all within range, and the wizard's prepared for this. He has
Hmm.
the stuff to completely negate it. He doesn't have to roll."
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot something that happened slightly before
What was
that.
that?
Okay, so
Oh, yes, the petrification.
the wizard, in the middle of his fight with Gwyn, he just snaps his fingers, and I had everyone roll a dex save against an 18,
Hmm.
and Hargon passes with a crit, Lancelot passes with 20, Gwyn passes with a 22, and Lech passes with 21.
However, Keemstar did not.
And it was supposed to be for everyone in the area, and I completely forgot about Keemstar. We go on a little bit, and it's like, oh, what's the damage then? Gwyn doesn't take any. Nothing. He doesn't take damage. You guys just notice a small little orb float past you, and you move well out of the way and prepare for the thing to explode, but it just kind of floats. And then a little bit after that, I go, wait, oh wait, Keemstar never rolled his deck save, and I rolled, and he rolled a 14, and y'all watch as this orb goes and it touches Keemstar, encasing his entire body in ice.
For 18 rounds, yes?
18, yeah.
Yeah.
The maximum on that being 20.
Yeah.
And he takes another 22 damage on top of that. And then y'all realize, shit, if we got hit by that, we're just effectively dead.
Yeah.
And then, you guys fight the
So
dragon.
Keemstar was frozen. He couldn't help us anymore. He was frozen in ice, trying to struggle out of it. And so we killed the dragon, and it exploded, hitting all of us, forcing us to roll. What was it? A Constitution against
A
paralysis.
constitution of 20 against a
Yeah.
13d8 damage
Mhm.
and paralysis.
Mhm. And let's see. I know Chatlet and Lancelot passed,
They passed barely. Okay,
just
Lancelot barely
barely.
passed, and is like, well, actually, I'm wearing the Ice Dragon scale armor and all this other stuff, so I should pass, right? You gotta add all this other stuff. Said no, naturally, the 21 you rolled passes just enough.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Chatlet. I'm asking you to roll a Constitution save So I'm expecting anything above a 20, and he rolls a 25. He has a +9 to Constitution saves.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was expecting
So,
Hargon to pass. He has a +7. He rolls a 9.
mm-hmm.
And Gwyn rolls an 11, and he
Yeah.
has a +2. Jesus.
So, with the power of 9/11, Gwyn and Hargon were petrified, frozen in place.
You were paralyzed,
Paralyzed,
knocked
sorry, not
prone,
frozen.
and let's see. If I'm right, the damage was 61. No, no, you didn't take 61.
I took a shit ton of damage. Like, I would have been unconscious if I wasn't raging. I know that for a fact.
You, yeah, no, you're resistant to. You're only resistant to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. You're not
Yeah, and
resist
wasn't it frost damage?
cold.
Cold, and I take double from that, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
took 122. And after some healing that you got, I have the whole thing
Yeah.
listed up. You barely survive
Yeah.
with
I would
like
have been
20.
I would have
It
been
was like
unconscious if I wasn't raging at the time. And I took
it
like
was like
120 some damage.
no, you did go unconscious, and then you had to use your relentless rage to drop to 1 if you could pass a con 10, which is
Oh yeah.
3 or higher on a die roll. And you roll a 17.
Well, yeah, I would have if I hadn't passed that. I didn't. Okay, I'm cutting out all the stuff we retconned because we realized we were stupid. Because it's for the sake of brevity. So yes, I would have been knocked unconscious if I hadn't passed that. Thank God for raging. But
Yeah.
I was still paralyzed, and it triggered my death and fire, meaning I had a giant fireball stored up inside me, ready to go off very soon.
It was an
So if
8d10.
yeah, 8d10 fireball centered on Hargon that hit everything around him. So when it got to Lancelot's turn, he used minor restoration on me to cure me of my paralysis. I was paralyzed, remember that. And so everyone was pretty well beaten down and low on health. And this is where my fault comes into it. See, okay, a lot of people when they play D&D or just games in general is that they have different quirks, different things about them that they always do. For instance, Carlos, who's playing Lancelot, is very particular about using his abilities and make sure that he never forgets anything he has. If he has something he can use in any particular instance, he always wants to make sure he gets the most out of it. He has an ability for every situation, and he will always remember to use them. That's his quirk. My quirk is that I always play to character, even to the detriment of myself and my party. If I know as a player that a door is trapped, but I don't know as a character, I'll still go through the door. Like in one previous session where if a door was opened, it would teleport us whoever opened it randomly around the dungeon they were in. I ended up going through that door twice because Sargon didn't fucking realize. So Hargon, being at like 1 health and exhausted from his rage ending, because of his frenzy ending, because of Path of Berserker, stumbles up to the wizard and detonates with everyone in range, dealing how much damage was it, Gage?
I will pull. Okay, so you're missing. There was actually a turn in between that where the wizard nearly knocked out Gwyn,
Yeah,
beat the shit out of Lech, and like actually put him on death's door. And Lancelot's in the corner trying to make sure you don't die because I saw you explode that one time after getting violently mauled. I
yeah,
don't want to know what'll happen now.
yeah. So everyone was pretty beaten up and low on health, and Gwyn was still frozen in ice.
Gwyn was not frozen.
He
He
wasn't?
was just get. He was
Or
paralyzed
not,
and getting
yeah,
the shit
sorry,
kicked. He
paralyzed,
was
not
paralyzed
frozen.
and getting the shit kicked out of him.
I keep getting that mixed up, sorry. He was paralyzed, and the wizard was just beating on him like a punching bag because, haha, you dumb.
And he was beaten on Chatlet now
Yeah,
because
he was
and
standing.
you and Hargon stands up groggy, says, "Oh, it's time to beat the shit out of this wizard,"
Stumbles up
basically,
to the wizard, takes
and just
just fucking explodes. dealing
49 damage.
yeah
You roll
49
the
damage.
49, but he takes 2 times damage,
Yeah,
which was like 100 something.
well,
No, it was
49 times 2 is 98.
98.
So
And what?
the 48 knocked out the rest of the party. Yeah, tactical
49.
nuke incoming.
Okay, 98 knocked out Gwyn and
Hmm.
put him on death's
Yeah,
door.
Gwyn
That's
took
actually
double because he
that's
was ice
ice.
affinity. Yeah, so he takes
That's
double damage
was
from
his max
fire.
health. That
Yeah,
was his maximum health. He was gonna get knocked down. Period.
so
He
he's
was not
down
knocked down.
and actually pretty
He
close to dying outright.
Yeah.
Chatlet and
Lancelot was
Lancelot.
low on health,
Hmm.
and got knocked down to like -20.
Hmm.
Chatlet was on no, is knocking on death's door and took another 90. Now, granted, he has another 40 something points he can go through before he permanently dies, but he was so close to dying
Hmm.
to begin with.
Yeah. So everyone is knocked out, and my gambit here was that it would be enough to kill the wizard. So explodes, wipes out the rest of the party. Hargon's still standing with 1 health, and the wizard is still fucking alive. And
He had
Hargon he
he
had how
had
much?
100
Yeah.
and 1213 HP. Actually, I will double check it because I know. Uh,
Before or after
8.
Hargon blew up?
He had
Yeah.
when
8 health.
when you blew up, he had 8 health left.
Yeah. So Hargon's turn ended with the wizard having 8 health left. And his turn is coming up. Everyone else is down. All he has to do is hit Hargon and TPK, total party kill. However, it's Keemstar's turn.
Keemstar, who
And
his entire turn has been
Keemstar for
skip a turn.
yeah,
His
most
entire
of it.
turn has been get skipped because you don't get one. And then I said,
Yeah.
hey, what if as a funny joke
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the character sheets and I don't have chat open. Because I pulled up the Keemstar sheet. So I never actually switched back to my chat tab. And I
Yeah.
go, hey, wouldn't it be a funny joke if Keemstar rolled a nat 20 strength save, broke out of the ice, and killed the wizard?
And
And
he
then I rolled it as a
fucking
joke.
did.
And I rolled it as a joke. And because the whole team was about to get fucking
Yeah.
wiped.
He
And he rolls a
Gage wasn't
nat 20
looking at the
strength.
chat. He rolled the strength save as a meme and just hears everyone go, "Oh! Oh!" Because he rolled a nat 20 strength save and got out of the fucking ice. So Keemstar, being frozen for most of the combat, breaks out of this ice prison just in time to see the wizard nearly strike down Hargon and uses power word kill. Looks
No,
at the wizard.
he used his Homer spell, throwing shade, to
Oh,
say,
right.
"Shut the fuck up, bitch," and knocked him down. So, so the wizard had 8 health.
Yeah.
Keemstar did 9 damage. I'm
Hmm.
not even kidding here. And
Just enough.
so everyone's sitting here. Hargon, who's exhausted, has just exploded. He's out of trick.
1 health.
I will call the
Nothing to
wizard by
save
his.
me.
I will call the wizard by his name. And Zavaros, he's right about to swing. When he hears his ice shatter, that shouldn't even be possible. And he turns to look at Keemstar, who shatters the ice. And he's still like going in for the swing to just tap Hargon. If he just taps him, it'll knock him out, and then he can deal with him.
Little does he know that
And
ugly looking gnome was what, a level like 18 bard?
he was actually okay. He was level 12 bard at the
12.
time, but I ranked him up to 20. But what ends up happening is he's right about to tap him, just Hargon, knock him down, when Keemstar breaks out of the ice and he goes, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch." Does 8 damage and literally causes his undead heart to stop. And his soul just dematerializes there, leaving only his stuff.
And so, just
And
this
Hargon,
blew us all away. And right before Hargon blacks out, he goes around and casts, what was it? Basically, Keemstar comes up and heals us all back to full, saving both the party and the entire campaign.
yeah, so Keemstar, I said, now is a level 20 bard. I will now use Power Word Kill on all of you. And it's like, are you serious? And I said, nah, he's actually going to use Power Word Heal.
And he healed us all back up.
And yeah.
So,
And then He thanked you and said, "Get the fuck out of my forest."
Yeah.
But I'll thank you for slaying that asshole. You can take his stuff.
Yeah, so we looted the
Uh,
dragon and the wizard and made on our way, but while I was going through my inventory, I spotted something. Something I had forgotten. This whole time, Hargon had a ring of free action. For those of you that don't know, when you have this ring equipped and are attuned to it, you are immune to magical effects that paralyze or terrify, not terrify, but paralyze or
or restrain your
restrain
movement.
you, and your movement speed cannot be reduced by magic. Meaning that when that wizard dropped down and froze the ice, that wouldn't have worked on Hargon, and the dragon exploding wouldn't have paralyzed him.
No, but it still would have knocked you down to 1 HP,
Oh
and
yeah, it still
that's
would have
still
fucking
terrifying.
boomy knocked him, but it wouldn't have paralyzed him, meaning that I would have had an extra turn to do something. So yeah, this
Uh,
whole this
all,
whole party wipe scenario might have been avoided had I remembered I had the ring free. Yeah, it was a real fucking brain dead moment.
yeah, and then like a day later, I said, "Hey, wait a second. Your attack should have only done 49 damage. He's actually wearing plate armor that halves fire damage, so he would have just taken 49 instead of 98, meaning even with your ring of free action, you guys slaying the dragon, and if everything happened the exact same way, he would have had
Not,
50
not even
something more
Keemstar could
health.
have saved us.
Yeah, not even Keemstar. His max damage on that, I believe, is 30.
Yeah,
24. It's 24.
yeah.
So
So,
max damage is 24,
and
and it
here's the
could not
then
compensate, and that would have been a total party wipe because
mhm,
Keemstar at the time had like 70 health. You guys beat the shit out. You guys beat him
yeah,
up, and then said, "Now you wait there." And then he took another 22, so he had 55, and this dude could just easily slay him.
yeah. So it was like pretty much everyone in the party had forgotten some magical ability that could have helped us in the fight. But honestly, I'm glad we all forgot all of our special stuff just because this made such a more entertaining story, and
Oh,
it always tickles me thinking back to how Keemstar saved my D&D campaign. Thank
yeah,
you
and
all
then
for listening. This is the end of the podcast for tonight. Good night.